After weeks of buildup and growing concern about safety downtown, Tulsa's new IDL curfew just faced its first real test.
The curfew follows a string of violent incidents from Crybaby Hill to Juneteenth, each one raising the stakes and forcing the city to act.
Now businesses, neighbors, and police are all reacting to the first weekend under new rules. But what does enforcement really look like, and how do you measure success?
Tonight, our team's digging into both sides, how the changes are landing for those who live and work downtown, and what law enforcement is saying about what comes next.
So far, we've had one weekend seemingly successful. We'll see what this next weekend brings with the holiday.
And just blocks away, Greenwood stakeholders gathering right now, demanding more from the city on safety and oversight. 2 News Oklahoma's Isabel Flores is there, listening in on what's on the table.
Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm TJ Eckert.
I'm Naomi Kitt. We are starting downtown tonight, where the IDL curfew is already making an impact on foot traffic, businesses, and on perception.
I went and spent the day talking with people who live and work in the area about what's changing and what still needs to.
2 News Oklahoma starts right now.
Brandon Frazier owns Lounge 88 in downtown Tulsa.
Close to 3 years now.
Okay. Like other places inside the IDL, he's seen the safety issues from recent gun violence around town.
They'd be in the parking lots held up in groups of 100, 200 sometimes.
That is until this past weekend, the first with the downtown curfew for ages 17 and under after 9 o'clock.
I was thrilled with it. It was the most peaceful weekend that we've had in years down here, I would say. It was really well operated.
Something he hopes will continue.
I think it's going to be a positive effect. I think it's a really good thing for the city. I'm anxious to see moving forward, obviously get more weekends under our belt and kind of see where it leads to. It's not the end-all be-all solution, but we had to come together and do something now to end the violence as quickly as possible.
For TPD, the barometer for this curfew's success could come sooner rather than later.
We're coming up on the 4th of July, so we'll see. This week's really going to be the test to see how well this works and how effective this tool is for the officers out there.
For Frazier, the next question is, what's next?
Do you have any fears that this is like a one-off or a two-off? Maybe next weekend's good?
I have concerns of that. I have concerns that it was just a showing from the city to get business owners to be quiet and say, look what we did, we fixed it, now we can go away and go back to business as usual, and that's where I want to see the long-term solutions come in.
At least for now, the chaos downtown, quiet thanks to that curfew.
It was a good start for the short-term solution. We had to end violence quickly, and we came together and did that. We can't stop here.
Frazier told me a lot of his customers said the weekend felt slower than normal, right? I asked if he thought the curfew might lead to less business. He says no, and that without those large crowds, his customers actually had places to park this weekend, which is good.
So the curfew is changing that scene downtown. But what about the bigger picture? How is it being enforced? Is it making us safer? How do police avoid going too far?
Yeah, 2 News anchor Christine Stanwood took those questions straight to the Tulsa Police Department, asking what success really looks like, how the curfew is being managed, and what's being done to stop the violence before it starts.
The downtown Tulsa IDL curfew seeing the results of its first weekend. After word spread, Captain Muhlenberg telling me the department saw a sharp decline in traffic.
We did write one citation last week.
The curfew, a result of recent violent downtown crimes.
Juneteenth, the shooting at Crybaby Hill, the shooting at the warehouse, the shooting up north. Those are situations where fights broke out, arguments happened, and then someone is emotionally compromised.
Captain Muhlenberg tells me it boils down to 2 separate issues, violent crime and curfew crowd management. And there's a dedicated task force assigned to violent crime and getting guns off the streets.
As a department, how do you do your best not to target certain individuals?
So we just, everything is regulated by policy and procedure, and always starts with a casual conversation, just like this.
He says the curfew is designed as a management and education tool, adding the success is not based on how many citations are written. Captain Muhlenberg transparent on being understaffed by 140 officers. With the 4th of July holiday days away, I asked,
can I get a temperature check about how you're feeling about this weekend, 4th of July?
Couldn't tell you. Here's the deal. Crime has been on the rise over the last several months, but we're coming into summer. So a lot of these things are seasonal. Kids are out of school.
He tells me this weekend will be a test to see the effectiveness of the curfew. He says moving forward, it takes all of us to keep our community safe. In Tulsa, Christine Stanwood, 2 News, Oklahoma.